Good evening, everyone. So, in the last class, we were discussing about ionic equilibrium, and we were seeing how to calculate pH of different types of solutions. We have seen how to calculate pH of strong acid and strong base, and a mixture of strong acids and mixture of strong bases. Correct, students? Till there we discussed. Weak acids also we discussed. Strong acid and strong base is completed. Huh? Strong acid and strong base is done. Yes. Next is calculation of pH of weak acid. Next is calculation of pH of weak acid and weak base. Okay. So to calculate pH of weak acid, we need to follow Ostwald's dilution law. Whenever there is a weak substance, always we need to follow Ostwald's dilution law. Whenever there is weak acid or weak base, it is compulsory to follow Ostwald's dilution law. So I have given three formulas, if you remember. So what are the three formulas to be used in Ostwald's dilution law? One is K alpha is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. This is one formula. So if you neglect alpha with respect to 1 for a weak electrolyte, then Ka is equal to C alpha square. From this we will get alpha is equal to root Ka by C. This is one formula. How to calculate the concentration of H plus? Concentration of H plus is equal to C into alpha. This is one more formula. So as we need to calculate pH, we can derive an expression for pH also. We can derive an expression for pH, right? Or if you know these three formulas, you can directly calculate H plus. Once you know H plus on concentration, we can calculate pH. pH is equal to minus log H plus. Sometimes what they will do in the exam is, they will directly give the expression. Which of the following is the correct expression for pH of a weak acid? So in that case, we need to derive, no? Right? So here I will write this one. Alpha is equal to root Ka by C. So we need to derive the pH. So how to derive the pH expression for weak acid? Very simple. I'll substitute the value of alpha here. So when I substitute the value of alpha, I'll get H plus is equal to C into root Ka by C. Instead of alpha, I'm writing root Ka by C. I'll send this concentration inside. Then you'll get H plus is equal to root Ka into C. Okay, na? H plus is equal to root Ka into C. Now, in order to get pH, I need to multiply with log on both sides. So when I multiply with log on both sides, you will get log H plus is equal to, right? So log, this I can write it as Ka into C whole power 1 by 2. Okay, na? So this becomes log H plus is equal to half into log Ka into C. Half into log half into log Ka into C. Okay, na? So this I can write as log H plus is equal to half into log Ka plus log C. Half into log Ka plus log C. So to get pH is negative logarithm of H plus, you know. So if I multiply with minus on both sides, I'll get minus log H plus is pH, which is equal to minus log Ka. Minus log Ka is pKa, right? So half of pKa. Half of pKa minus log C. So this will be the formula to calculate pH of a weak acid. Right? So no need to by heart the formula, students. If you know these formulas, we can write. But if they ask you to derive the pH formula for a weak acid, this will be the expression. Half into pKa minus log C. Okay, now. So now we write down a question. So very simple questions will get. Calculate the pH of. Question is calculate the pH of 0.1 molar HA whose Ka value is 10 power minus 5. So only thing you need to know is immediately after seeing a question, you need to identify to which concept does it belong. Whether it belongs to strong acid or strong base or weak acid or weak base or mixture of strong acids or mixture of strong bases. So how will you come to know to which case it belongs? There is only one substance present, that is HA. So we know that HA is the general representation of an acid. HA is the general representation of an acid and Ka value is given. That means it is a weak acid. So we know that if Ka value and alpha is given, it will be belonging to weak substance, right? So HA is an acid, Ka is an dissociation constant of an acid. So this belongs to weak acid. Okay. Tell me, students, what will be the answer? pH will be 3, right? Either you use the direct formula or they have given the concentration, they have given the value of Ka. So first you can calculate the concentration of H plus. H plus is equal to root Ka into C. H plus is equal to root Ka into C. H plus is equal to C into alpha, no? So instead of alpha, I have substituted. So which is equal to root Ka value is 10 power minus 5. Concentration is 10 power minus 1. So this will be 10 power minus 6, which is equal to 10 power minus 3 molar. So if H plus is 10 power minus 3, so what will be the pH? pH value will be. So such type of simple questions you will get in the exam. Okay. Now in the same way for base also. So I have given concentration and Ka. They can give alpha, right? So but always calculation of alpha is very important, students, right? So if I am using this formula, that means I am neglecting alpha, no? Right? First you need to calculate alpha. So how will you calculate alpha? Alpha is equal to root Ka by C, right? So that is root Ka value is 10 power minus 5 by concentration is 10 power minus 1. So this will be 10 power minus 4. That is 10 power minus 2. So 10 power minus 2 means 0.01, no? So we know that when alpha value is less than 5%, that means 0.05, I can neglect alpha. Correct or wrong? So this is less than 0.05, I can neglect alpha. That's why I'm using this formula. Okay, now. So whenever there is a weak acid or weak base present, always check whether you can use this formula or not. And the pH expression what we derived also is based on this formula only. That means I am neglecting the value of alpha and then using the pH formula. Okay. So if alpha value you get greater than 0.05, then you cannot neglect the value of alpha. Suppose one simple question I'll give. Suppose, write down, question is, calculate the pH of 0.01 molar CHCl to COH. The Ka value is given as 1.25 into 10 power minus 2. So you know that the question is belonging to weak acid. Okay, because COH is a carboxylic acid, Ka value is given. That means it is a weak acid. Now first you need to check for the condition of alpha, whether I can neglect the value of alpha or I should not neglect. So how will you know? You need to calculate the value of alpha. So alpha is root Ka by C, correct? So which is root of 1.25 into 10 power minus 2 by C value is 10 power minus 2. These two gets cancelled out. So this is root 1.25. How much you'll get, students? You'll get greater than 0.01, na? Definitely you'll get, no? Definitely you'll get, because this is 1.118. 1.118. So this is definitely greater than 0.01. So now can I use the formula H plus is equal to root Ka into C to solve this problem? No. You cannot use this formula. Okay. Then how I can solve this problem? So by using the formula Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. I need to calculate the value of alpha. I cannot use this alpha, because if I am using this formula, again I am neglecting the value of alpha only. I am using this formula. So I cannot directly take the value of alpha here. So I need to substitute Ka and C and first calculate the value of alpha. Once you know the value of alpha, use H plus is equal to C into alpha. Calculate H plus on concentration, then pH. So Ka value is given as 1.25 into 10 power minus 2, which is equal to C is 0.01 into alpha square by 1 minus alpha. You'll get a quadratic expression. You need to solve that. Solve that and tell me how much will be the value of alpha. So rarely you will get such type of questions, but you need to be careful. So you'll get a quadratic expression, students. So if you solve, I'll give you the direct value. Later you can simplify. No need to waste the time. So alpha value will get is 0.65, students. This is the exact value of alpha without neglecting alpha with respect to 1. So if you solve this, you'll get alpha value is 0.65. Now I can use the formula H plus is equal to C into alpha. So concentration is 10 power minus 2 into alpha value is 65 into 10 power minus 2. Okay, na? So this will be 65 into 10 power minus 4. Right? So or you can write as 6.5 into 10 power minus 3. This will be the concentration of H. Now calculate pH. pH is equal to minus log 6.5 into 10 power minus 3. That is 3 minus log 6.5. 3 minus log 6.5. So 3 minus log 6.5 value. How will you come to know log 6.5 value? So log 6 and log 7. In between log 6 and log 7 it will be. So we know that log 6 value is, what will be the value of log 6, students? Log 6 can be written as log 2 plus log 3. Okay, so log 2 value is 0.3 plus log 3 value, if I take 0.48, so this will be 0.78. Okay, na? Log 7 value is, what is the value of log 7? 0.85 approximately. So in between these two, the value of log 6.5 will be present. So how much will we take? 2 plus 5. 7 is there, no? So average 8.1 I can take roughly. 0.81. 0.81 let us take. Approximate value. Right. So 3 minus 0.81 will be 2.19. Okay, na? So this will be the pH. Approximately. Right. See, generally we know that from 1 to 3, if pH is between 1 to 3, it will be strong acid, no? So you can see this is almost strong. Why this is almost strong? Because alpha value is 65%. So acid is 65% undergoing dissociation. Okay, that means it is not that weak. It is a strong acid only. Okay, so that's why calculating the value of alpha is very, very important. Rarely you get such things, but be careful. Completed. In the same way, pH of weak base. pH of weak base. pH of weak base. So again, for weak bases also we'll be using the same formulas. So one is Kb is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. So always keep this formula in mind. Then you'll get alpha is equal to root Kb by C. So instead of Ka, as it is a base, you will get Kb. That is the only difference. And instead of H plus, you will get OH minus. Okay. So the concentration of OH minus is equal to C into alpha. This is one formula. If I substitute the value of alpha here, so you will get the concentration of OH minus is equal to root Ka into C. This is one formula. Then we can derive the pH expression. Before going into pH expression, we can derive pOH expression. So pOH expression will be similar to that of pH expression what we got for weak acid. Correct? No. So pOH is equal to half into pKb minus log C. This will be pOH. So once you know pOH, you can calculate pH. pH is equal to 14 minus pOH. Because the sum of pH and pOH must be equal to 14. So you can calculate pH by using this form. Okay, na? So this is for weak base. Similar to that of weak acid, only instead of H plus, you will get OH minus. So this is the formula to calculate pOH. Once you get pOH, you can calculate pH. Okay. So let us write one question. Calculate pH of 0.1 molar BOH whose Kb value is 10 power minus 5. So immediately after this seeing the question, you must come to know that so BOH is a base, Kb value is given. That means it is a question related to weak base. So whenever it is weak base, first you need to check for the value of alpha. So check for the value of alpha. Alpha is equal to root Kb by C. So Kb value is 10 power minus 5. Concentration is 10 power minus 1. So root 10 power minus 4, that is 10 power minus 2. You'll get the value of alpha is 10 power minus 2. So 10 power minus 2 is 0.01. So you can neglect the value of alpha. Okay. You can neglect the value of alpha. So if I neglect the value of alpha, so directly you will get H plus OH minus, because it is a base. OH minus 1 concentration is equal to root Kb into C. So Kb value is 10 power minus 5 into C is 10 power minus 1. So that is root 10 power minus 6. 10 power minus 3 molar is the concentration of OH minus. So that means POH will be 3. So if POH is 3, what is pH? 11. This level. So whenever it is a question based on weak acid or weak base, don't forget to check the value of alpha. That is important. Complete. Next is pH of mixture of weak acids and mixture of weak bases. Next condition is calculating the pH of mixture of weak acids. pH of mix of weak acids. So if more than one weak acid is given, how will you calculate the pH? Suppose if one weak acid is given, students, how you are calculating the concentration of H plus ions? Root Ka into C. This is the formula. So if you derive it for mixture of weak acids, no, actual derivation is not required for us. So if you derive it, you will get it as Ka1C1, Ka2C2 and so on. Okay, so H plus ion concentration is equal to root Ka1C1 plus Ka2C2 and so on. So this is how you will calculate H plus. So once you calculate H plus, you can calculate pH. Ka1 and C1 are the concentrations and Ka value of one acid. Ka2 and C2 are the concentrations and Ka value of another acids. Okay. So this is how you will calculate the pH of mix of weak acids. In the same way for weak bases also, pH of mix of weak bases. pH of mix of weak bases. So as it is a base, final concentration will be OH minus, which is equal to root of Kb1C1 plus Kb2C2 plus and so on. Where Kb1 and Kb2 are dissociation constant of two bases, C1 and C2 are the concentrations of two bases. Okay. So one problem here, we will solve, and we'll go to the next case. Write down the formulas. Okay. See, don't feel it because so many things are there. You may feel that it is difficult, but actually it is very easy, students. Right? The only thing is identifying the condition is the only important thing here. Only if you identify the condition, so it will be easy. Question is 0.1 molar HK1 whose K value is 10 power minus 5 and 0.2 molar plus, let us write That means you are mixing two solutions. 0.2 molar HA2 whose Ka value is 4 into 10 power minus 5. Okay, na? So calculate pH of the solution. Calculate pH of the solution. So immediately after seeing the question, you must get an idea. Yes, one is HA, other one is HA. That means there are two acids. And the Ka values are also given for both the acids. That means it is a mixture of weak acids condition. So immediately you must get an idea that, okay, I need to calculate the concentration of H plus ions by using the formula Ka1C1 plus Ka2C2. That's it. Okay, na? So in this way. So substitute the values. Ka1 is 10 power minus 5 for first acid. Concentration of the first acid is 0.1. Ka2, 4 into 10 power minus 5 into concentration is 0.2. So simplify this. How much will you get? This is 10 power minus 6 plus 4 into 0.2 is 0.8. Right? Or you can write as 2 into 10 power minus 1. So it becomes 8 into 10 power minus 6. So you can take 10 power minus 6 common, you will get the root of 9 into 10 power minus 6, which is 3 into 10 power minus 3. So the concentration of H plus ion is 3 into 10 power minus 3. So once you know the concentration of H plus ion, we can calculate pH. So pH is equal to minus log 3 into 10 power minus 3, which is 3 minus log 3. So log 3 value you can take it as 0.48. So 3 minus 0.48. So it will be 2.52. So pH is 2.5. Let this be the first part, students, in this calculation of pH. Question can be asked in a different way. Not only pH, no. Other question also can be asked. Let us write the other question. Complete until here. Now the second question here is in the same question, second part. Calculate. So from this you will get A1 minus ion. Calculate concentration of A1 minus and calculate concentration of A2 minus ion. Calculate the concentration of A1. Let the minus be A1. Calculate the concentration. This bracket represents concentration, molar concentration. Calculate the concentration of A1 minus ion and concentration of A2 minus ion. So in this way also the question can be asked. So how you will calculate the concentration of A1 minus and A2 minus? A1 minus will be formed from HA1, right? So HA1 on dissociation you will get H plus plus A1 minus. In the same way, HA2 on dissociation you will get H plus plus A2 minus. So what will be the Ka expression for this? Concentration of H plus into concentration of A1 minus by concentration of HA1. You know the value of Ka for the first acid, 10 power minus 5. Concentration of H plus previously we calculated, no? What was the concentration, students? 3 into 10 power minus 3, no? Something we got. Can anyone tell me the answer? 3 into 10 power minus 3, na? 3 into 10 power minus 3 is the concentration of H plus. Into concentration of A1 minus, I need to calculate. By HA1, concentration is 0.1. So if you simplify this, no, you will get the concentration of A1 minus. So how much you will get? 10 power minus 6 this becomes. So it will be 10 power minus 3. 1 by 3 into 10 power minus 3. This will be the concentration of A1 minus. In the same way, solve it for this. Tell me how much will you get? For solution only. That becomes for solution total, because both in the solution both are present. No, HA1 gives rise to Cl. Good doubt it is. There are both acids, no, HA2 as well as HA1. You will get H plus plus A1 minus. So H plus ion concentration will be from both the acids, and you can see here there will be common ion effect of this H plus on this H plus, as well as there will be common ion effect of H plus on this H plus. Correct? No, you know what do you mean by common ion effect. So this H plus ion is common from both the acids. So what happens? Due to the presence of common ion, the concentration of H plus ions decreases, no? Correct, no, students? Right? So overall the concentration of H plus ions, as both are weak, will be almost the same. Correct or wrong? As both are weak, can I tell that the concentration of H plus ions from both of them will be almost the same? So that's why we'll take the total concentration of H plus ions from the solution. Okay, na? Good question. Actually, if we derive, no, you will come to know, but we are not doing that part here, right? So take the H plus ion concentration for the total solution. Eight by 3 into 10 power minus 3. Yes, correct. So you will get the concentration of A2 minus ion as 8 by 3 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, na? So in this way also the question can be asked. So that's why I have given. Okay. In the same way for bases also, you can solve, right? I'll be going directly to the next part. What is the thing you need to do, students, for bases? Just from the question, you need to identify to which part it belongs. If it is a base, here it will be Kb. Here concentration will be given. Here also it will be Kb. Okay. Whatever the H plus ion concentration we got previously, that will be OH minus ion. Clear? No need, no students. Directly I'll go to the next part. Right. So this is the mixture of weak acids and weak bases. Mixture of weak acids and weak bases. Should be calculate alpha for second solution. Not required. Directly you can take H because both are weak. No, when both are weak, no need to take. Yeah. Understood, Pranjali? So you are asking to calculate alpha for second solution. Huh? Second solution is in the previous question for the second solution. I'll unmute you. You ask me your doubt, no? 1 minute. Ask me your question.
Sir, for the second solution, no, sir, we should find alpha, no, sir. Like
What?
it is K is 4 into something. 4 into 10 power.
Yeah, your K value is given. Okay, no problem. But even if you calculate the value of alpha, you will be getting the value of alpha as very less. Because in both the cases, there is common ion effect operating. No, when there is no common ion effect operating, then we need to check whether the value of alpha will be high or low. When both are weak, one ion will be suppressing the concentration of other ion. The other ion will be suppressing the concentration of the first ion.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here there is no need to calculate the value of alpha.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so in this case, no students, whenever there is a mixture of weak acids or weak bases, no need to calculate the value of any alpha. The H plus ion concentration, what you are taking, no, you can take it directly. Okay, I would have given the definition, derivation, no, it would have been very clear, but I am making that point clear. Okay, so no need to calculate the value of any alpha if it is a case of mixture of weak acids and weak bases. Okay, right. Next cases. So we have done with mixture of weak acids and mixture of weak bases. The next one is there can be one strong acid and one weak acid. Right. So that solution, mixture of calculation of pH of mix of strong acid plus weak acid. When there is a mixture of strong acid plus weak acid, like example of strong acid is HCl, example of weak acid is CH3COOH. How will you identify whether the question belongs to a mixture of strong acid and weak acid? Either Ka will be given or alpha will be given for one acid, and for the other acid nothing will be given. Then you will identify that it is a case belonging to a mixture of strong acid and weak acid. In this case, no students, only one point you need to remember. See, if I take HCl, as it is a strong acid, it will be undergoing 100% dissociation, so you won't get any equilibrium here. So you will get H plus plus Cl minus. But if I take weak acid like CH3COOH, which on dissociation you will get H plus and CH3COO minus rounds. For this Ka value will be given in the question. So from this you will come to know that it is a mixture of strong acid and weak acid. Right? Now see here. So here there is common ion effect operating because you are getting H plus ions from both HCl as well as CH3COH. Now tell me from where you will get more amount of H plus ions, from HCl or from acetic acid? From where you will get more number of H plus ions, from HCl or from acetic acid? This is strong acid, no? This is strong acid, so you will get more number of H plus ions from HCl. From CH3COOH, this is a weak acid. Can I tell that number of H plus ions produced from acetic acid will be negligible when compared to HCl? Can I tell that the number of H plus ions produced from acetic acid will be negligible when compared to the number of ions from HCl? Yes. So I'll neglect the H plus ions produced from acetic acid. Further, again there will be common ion effect also. Further, again there will be common ion effect. Due to the presence of common ion, you can see concentration of product is increasing. When concentration of product is increasing, according to Le Chatelier principle, equilibrium will be shifted in backward direction, no? So equilibrium is shifting in backward direction means the number of H plus ions from acetic acid are still decreasing. Understood? Right? So that's why in this case, the concentration of H plus ions must be taken only from strong acid. Right? So make a note here. In this case, when there is a mixture of strong acid and weak acid, concentration of H plus ions must be considered only from strong acid. In this case, concentration of H plus ions must be considered only from strong acid. Only this is the point you need to remember. Remaining everything will be the same. Complete. So we'll solve one question, you'll get an idea. Till now, in entrance exams, this part was not asked, students. Okay, so till previously we discussed, no, till there only it was asked in the entrance exams. That means strong acid, strong base, mixture of strong acids, mixture of strong bases. That was one part which was most frequently asked in the exam. Weak acid, weak base, mixture of weak acids, mixture of weak bases. Till here it was asked in the exam. From here it was not asked actually. This part was not asked till now. Okay, so I'll give you one question. Calculate pH of a solution containing 0.1 molar HA whose Ka value is 10 power minus 7 and 0.2 molar HCl. So if you see this question, you can see that HA is one acid whose Ka value is given. That means this is weak. And there is another acid whose Ka value is not given. That means it is strong. So it is a question belonging to strong acid and weak acid. So for that, what is the condition? From HCl, you will get H plus and Cl minus 7, students. If the concentration of HCl is 0.2 molar, then the concentration of H plus ions also will be 0.2 molar. Cl minus ions also will be 0.2 molar because this undergoes 100% dissociation. Okay, so whatever is there, completely it will be converted to products. From this, you will get H plus ion concentration. You will not get exactly 0.1 because it will be less than 0.1 because this does not undergo 100% dissociation. But anyway, always H plus ions has to be considered only from strong acid. Okay, na? So what will be the concentration of H plus ion, students, in this case? It is 0.2 molar. No need to consider it from weak acid. Okay, na? So concentration of H plus is 0.2 molar. Right? So now they are asking you to calculate the pH. So you can calculate the pH from this. What will be the concentration of pH? pH. Minus log 2 into 10 power minus 1 I can write. So 1 minus log 2. So 1 minus 0.3. pH value will be 0.7. So this way the question comes from pH of a mix of strong acid and weak acid. So it is like solving for strong acid only. In the same way, you will get for strong base and weak base, students. So in the same way, you will get for strong base and weak base. So when it is for strong base and weak base, when it is for strong base and weak base, so what is the thing you will be considering? Concentration of OH minus ions. concentration of OH minus ions must be considered only from strong base. That is the only thing. So that means it will be like solving for strong base only. Okay, now. So remember this condition. So till now, whatever we have calculated pH, we have done separately for acids and separately for bases. Now comes the important part. So 90% of the questions in your entrance exams will be from this part. That is calculation of pH of mixture of acid and a base. When acid and base are mixed, how to calculate the pH of a solution, right? So let us start with the first point here, that is mixture of strong acid and strong base. How to calculate the pH of a mixture of strong acid and strong base? Very important, students, from here, concentrate. So pH of a mix of strong acid and strong base. pH of a mix of strong acid and strong base. So how to calculate the pH of this type of solution is, first you need to calculate number of equivalents of acid. First you need to calculate number of equivalents of acid. So how will you calculate number of equivalents of acid? N1 into V1. N1 is the normality of the acid. V1 is the volume of the acid in liters. If you take liters, you will get equivalents. If you take volume in ml, you will get milli-equivalents. Okay. Next, you will calculate number of equivalents of base. Let this be NaVa, number of equivalents of acid. In the same way, you will calculate number of equivalents of base, NbVb. If number of equivalents of acid is greater than number of equivalents of base, then obviously the solution will be acidic. Obviously the solution will be acidic. So the concentration of H plus ions will be equal to NaVa minus NbVb by Va plus Vb. So already I said in the last class when to add and when to subtract. When two solutions are of the same nature, you will be adding the equivalents or moles. When they are of different nature, you will be subtracting them. So here one is acid and one is base. Both are exactly of opposite nature. So you are subtracting this. Okay. So H plus ion concentration is equal to NaVa minus NbVb by Va plus Vb. If NaVa is less and NbVb is more, so in this case, the solution will be basic in nature. That means the resulting solution will be consisting of OH minus ions, which is equal to NbVb minus NaVa by Va plus Vb. So in this way, you can calculate OH minus ions concentration. If both are equal, then the solution will be a neutral solution. Okay. So third case, if NaVa is equal to NbVb, it will be neutral solution. Okay, na? So write down till here, very important. From here, everything is important till the end of the chapter. See, students, after listening to the concept in the class, no, definitely you need to go and practice the problems. If you are not practicing the problems, if you are just listening, no, it is waste of time only again. Okay. So this is just revision of the concept. I am giving an idea of what type of questions will be asked. So after going home, you need to practice. ASC students, no. So already many problems we solved in the class. First solve those problems again, because every problem will be of different kind. So solve the problems, then go for previous year's questions first, then go for reference books. Okay, so solving previous year's questions is very, very important, because you will come to know what type of questions are being asked in asked from this concept in JEE or NEET or whatever the exam may be. Okay. So now let us solve one or two problems based on this. Question is 200 ml of 0.1 molar HCl is mixed with 300 ml of 0.2 molar NaOH. Calculate pH of the resulting solution. Calculate pH of the resulting solution. From the question, you need to identify which condition it is. Okay. So you can see one is an acid, other one is a base. No Ka value, no Kb value is given. That means it is a question belonging to a mixture of strong acid and strong base. So immediately the thing must strike in your mind how to calculate the pH. So first what you need to do, you know the procedure, solve and tell me the answer. What will be the pH? (12.7). Any other answers? Let us check. See here, volume is given in ml, so I'll get milli equivalents. So number of milli equivalents of acid, that is NaVA, is equal to 200 into 0.1. So that is 20 milli equivalents. 20 milli equivalents. In the same way, number of milli equivalents of base, NBVB, is equal to, so normality is 0.2 into volume is 300. So this will be 60 milli equivalents. So number of equivalents of base is more when compared to number of milli equivalents of acid. So resulting solution will be basic OH minus ions, which will be equal to 60 minus 20 by total volume is 300 plus 200, 500. 500. So this will be 40 by 500. 40 by 500, right? So how much will be this, students? 2 by 25. 2 by 25 will be the concentration of OH minus ions. 2 by 25 is 0.8 is 0.08. 0.08. Okay, now, so you can calculate pOH. pOH is equal to minus log 8 into 10 power minus 2, I'll write. So this can be written as 2 minus log 8. So log 8 is log 2 cubed, I can write. That means 0.9. Okay, now. So 2 minus 0.9. That is 1.1. pOH is 1.1. So what will be pH? 12.9. Okay, na? One more question. And see here, friends. You are calculating number of equals. So normality here. If they give molarity, no. Here they have given molarity. They have calculated normality. So in that case, you need to be careful with the n factor. Okay, na? So molarity can be converted into normality by multiplying it with n factor. Right? So I think you know that point. No need to mention separately. So be careful with the n factors always. One more question, students. Question is, calculate volume of 0.1 molar NaOH solution, which should be added in 300 ml of HCl solution having pH is equal to 2 to change its pH by 2 units. So be careful with by and 2 here. Okay, na? So pH must be changed by 2 units. Solve, friends, carefully. Again, immediately. So whenever you find out the question is from ionic equilibrium, you need to check to which concept it belongs to. So one base is given, one acid is given, no Ka, Kb values are mentioned. That means it is a case of strong acid plus strong base. So use your logic and answer the question. Concentration of HCl, pH is given 2, no? When pH is 2, you know the concentration of H plus ions, how you can calculate. Once you know the concentration of H plus ions, you will get the concentration of HCl or not? Will the concentration of H plus ions be the same as concentration of HCl, students? Or will it be different? It will be the same because n factor is 1 no for HCl. It must be the same. That it is a strong acid. It must be the same. $30 ml. Any other answers? See, understand the question. Not the direct question. You need to think and answer. See what they are telling. You need to calculate how much amount of NaCl solution is added in 300 ml of HCl. That means you are already having an acid solution whose pH is 2. You are already having HCl solution whose pH is 2. To this you are adding NaOH, right? So there is a HCl solution whose pH is 2. You are adding NaOH to this. What happens to the pH, students? Increases or decreases by the addition of base? When you add base to an acid, pH will increase or decrease? Increase, no. You are adding a base, students, base. Base will be having a pH greater than 7, no. So when you are adding an acid, when you are adding a base to an acid, slowly the pH will increase. If you are adding acid, pH will decrease. If you are adding a base, pH will increase. So pH will increase. By how many units, students? 2 units. By 2 units. That means what will be the final pH? 4. Final pH will be 4. pH is 4 means, will the solution be acidic or basic? Acidic, no, because pH is less than 7. So it will be acidic. It will be acidic. Very simple. You are having an acid, you are adding a base to an acid. When you add a base to acid, pH will increase. So from 2 to it is becoming 4. Even though it is becoming 4, still it is acidic only. That means what will be the final concentration of H plus ions? 10 power minus 4. If pH is 4, H plus will be 10 power minus 4. So final concentration is acidic, which is equal to NaVa minus NbVb by Va plus Vb. That's all. Okay, na? So final H plus ion concentration is 10 power minus 4, which is equal to Na, acid. So what is the concentration of acid? pH is 2, means concentration will be 10 power minus 2. Acid concentration is 10 power minus 2 into what is the volume of acid? 300 ml minus molarity of the base is 0.1. For NaOH, molarity and normality are the same, so that will also be 0.1 into volume. We need to calculate by 100 plus V. So simplify, students, this one, you will get the answer. See, you know the final concept is this, but you need to identify whether the solution will be acidic or basic, because you are adding a base to an acid. If I add more amount of base, it may become basic also. So you need to know what will be the resultant concentration of the solution. So you know initial pH is 2, pH is changing by 2 units, it will increase to 4, but still it will be acidic only. So final solution will be acidic, H plus. So when it is H plus, NaVa minus NbVb by Va plus Vb. Solve this. So I think you will get 29.7 exact. Vb value must be 29.7. So in this way, indirectly the questions can be asked using little bit logic. First one was a direct question. Okay, so in JEE you can get this type of questions. In NEET you will be getting very direct one, like the first case. Okay, no problem. Understood, students? Right. So this is the first case. Calculating the pH of strong acid plus strong base. Then there are other 3 conditions where you can mix strong acid and weak base, where you can mix weak acid and strong base, or both acid and base can be weak. There will be other 3 conditions. In that case, we are going to discuss one concept is called as salt hydrolysis, other concept is called as buffer solution. In the remaining 3 cases, we can get salt hydrolysis, or we can get buffer solution, or we can get none of them also. Okay, so let us discuss salt hydrolysis. Salt hydrolysis. Salt hydrolysis. So what do you mean by salt hydrolysis first? So salt hydrolysis means salt is undergoing hydrolysis. Salt is undergoing hydrolysis. So we know that a salt will always be an ionic compound only. So you will be getting cation as well as anion. So either the cationic part of the salt can undergo hydrolysis, or anionic part of the salt can undergo hydrolysis, or both of them can undergo hydrolysis, or none of them can undergo hydrolysis. So these are the 4 conditions we get under salt hydrolysis. Before going into discussing those conditions, right? First, let us understand what do you mean by this salt hydrolysis. So we know that a salt is produced by the reaction between an acid whose general representation is Ha and a base whose general representation is BOH. So we will get H plus A minus, B plus OH minus. The salt formed here is Ba, is the salt, which will always be in its ionic form, B plus A minus plus H2. Now what is the salt hydrolysis? This must undergo hydrolysis. So when Ba undergoes decomposition, we'll get B plus and A minus. So if cationic part of the salt is undergoing hydrolysis, so B plus, if it is undergoing hydrolysis, what products will you get, students? From water you will get H plus and OH minus ions. OH minus ions will be taken by B plus and you will get BOH plus H plus. So if cationic part of the salt is undergoing hydrolysis, what will be the nature of solution, students? Acidic. If cationic part is undergoing hydrolysis, then the nature of solution will be acidic. Such type is called as cationic hydrolysis. So cationic hydrolysis will always produce acidic solution. Cationic hydrolysis will always produce acidic solution. If I take anion, A minus. So if anion is undergoing hydrolysis, then you will get AH plus OH minus ions. So the solution will be basic. So if anionic part is undergoing hydrolysis, you are going to get a basic solution. If both are undergoing hydrolysis, you may get an acidic solution or you may get a basic solution. That depends upon Ka and Kb values of acid and base. We'll see how to identify it later. If none of these are undergoing hydrolysis, then the solution will always be neutral. Okay, so you need to revise the points from first PU. I am giving the theory points here. Cationic hydrolysis will always produce an acidic solution. Anionic hydrolysis will always produce a basic solution. If both of these are not undergoing hydrolysis, then the solution will always be neutral. If both are undergoing hydrolysis, then the nature of solution depends upon Ka and Kb value. So this point is important, students. First of all, cationic hydrolysis give acidic solution, anionic hydrolysis give basic solution. Write down this point first. Complete writing. See, from solid hydrolysis, no, many theoretical questions also will be asked to students in the exam. So that's why I'm giving all these theory points, not only just problems. Complete. Okay, now see here, students. So this is one part. Cationic hydrolysis will give acidic solution. Anionic hydrolysis will give basic solution. But what is happening during salt hydrolysis? Again, the salt is undergoing hydrolysis to produce acid and base only. No, that means, can I tell that salt hydrolysis is reverse of neutralization? Salt hydrolysis is reverse of neutralization. Okay, so write on this point. Salt hydrolysis is nothing but reverse of neutralization. Salt hydrolysis is reverse of neutralization. Is reverse of neutralization. Forward is neutralization reaction, acid plus base. Backward is salt hydrolysis. Neutralization is exothermic or endothermic, students? Neutralization. Neutralization is exothermic or endothermic? Neutralization is always an exothermic process. So if neutralization is exothermic, what must be salt hydrolysis? Endothermic. So that point is also important. Salt hydrolysis is endothermic in nature. Salt hydrolysis is endothermic in nature. Suppose neutralization constant, I am naming it as Kn, because we know that when strong acid is reacting with strong base, how much amount of energy will be released, students, from thermochemistry? How much amount of energy will be released when strong acid is reacting with strong base? It is a constant value now always. 13.7 actually, not 13.2, 13.7. 13.7 kilocalories or 57.3 kilojoule per mole. You need to remember this value. When strong acid is reacting with a strong base, the amount of energy released will always be the same. That is 13.7 kilocalories or 57.3 kilojoules. Okay. Except strong acid plus strong base, then any one of them is weak. Either acid is weak or base is weak or both are weak. Amount of energy released will be less than 13.7 kilocalories or 57.3 kilojoules. Okay. Now, only the first case, students. I am telling that neutralization reaction is reversible reaction. But that is not true for first case. When strong acid is reacting with strong base, the reaction is not reversible. In remaining all the three cases, it is a reversible reaction. So first case, that is reaction between a strong acid and strong base, is not a reversible reaction. Okay, because a salt formed from strong acid and strong base is not going to undergo any type of hydrolysis. That I'll give in the form of a table. Okay, na? So that point keep in mind. If the constant for neutralization is Kn, so this is an equilibrium constant, because this is an equilibrium reaction. For one reaction, you don't get this neutralization constant. That is for the reaction between strong acid and strong base. You won't get neutralization constant. Then in the same way, for hydrolysis, I am having a constant called Kh, hydrolysis constant. So the relation between these two will be Kn is equal to 1 by Kh. Kn is equal to 1 by Kh, because forward reaction and backward reaction. When the reaction is reversed, equilibrium constants will be inversed, right? So Kn value will always be equal to 1 by Kh. Okay. So these are all the theory questions that can be asked from the concept. Completed. Now see here, students. Now see here. The other type of question that can be asked is, they will give you a salt in the exam, and they'll ask you to identify whether it will undergo cationic hydrolysis or whether it will undergo anionic hydrolysis, or what will be the nature of the solution, whether it will be acidic or basic, or whether it is neutral. Such type of questions they will ask. Okay, right? If they give Ka and Kb values, no, it will be very easy to answer. But sometimes they won't give the values of Ka and Kb. So in such cases, how to identify? How to identify is, all mineral acids are there, no students. Mineral acids means inorganic acids. All inorganic acids are considered to be strong acids except boric acid and H2CO3. H3BO3 and H2CO3 are considered to be weak acids. All other inorganic acids are strong acid, students. HNO3, HCl, H2SO4, H3PO4, all others are considered to be strong acids. Okay, now coming to bases, 1A group hydroxides, 1A group hydroxides and barium hydroxide are the only strong hydroxides. Okay, na? So 1A group hydroxides and barium hydroxides are considered to be the strong hydroxides. Remaining any hydroxide they give in the exam is considered to be the weak hydroxide, weak base. Now, for example, if they give in the exam KCl, KCl is the salt. Now they will ask you to identify what will be the nature of this salt. So what you need to do is just add water to it. So from KCl you get K plus and Cl minus. When you add water, OH will be taken up by K plus, H plus will be taken up by Cl, Cl minus. KOH is a strong base, HCl is a strong acid. Both are strong, no? When both are strong, no hydrolysis takes place, students. When both are strong, no hydrolysis takes place. And it is a between strong acid and strong base, always it will be a neutral solution. Always it will be a neutral solution. For example, if they give FeCl3, tell me, students, what will be the nature of FeCl3? Acidic or basic or neutral? Or it can be any. Yes. So from FeCl3 you will get Fe plus 3 and Cl minus. So OH minus will be taken by Fe and H plus will be taken by Cl minus. From here you will get HCl. From here you will get FeOH thrice. So this is weak and this is strong. So the nature of solution will be acidic. Nature of solution will be acidic. That means what hydrolysis, students? Cationic hydrolysis or anionic hydrolysis takes place to produce an acidic solution. Cationic hydrolysis. It will be cationic hydrolysis. So this part is very important. Again, a theory question can be asked. Among the following, which undergoes cationic hydrolysis? Which undergoes anionic hydrolysis? Which does not undergo hydrolysis? All these questions will be asked. Okay, now, so many exams we have solved in the class note, students. You can go through that, but this is the basic idea behind that. So right now we'll go for the formulas for solving numericals. Completed. Now I'll give all the formulas in the form of a table, whatever the derivations we have done in the class in first PU, all the things I'll give in the form of a table. Okay. So write down the table. First one is salt of, let me make a table. The salt, what type of salt it is. Next one is what type of hydrolysis. Type of hydrolysis. Next one is hydrolysis constant. Hydrolysis constant, that is KH. Hydrolysis constant is KH. Next one is formula to calculate pH. So with here the table will be completed. So if you know type of hydrolysis, you will be able to identify the nature of solution. Right. First one is salt of. One more is there actually. Degree of hydrolysis, H. Degree of hydrolysis, H. Next is pH formula. For a salt of strong acid plus strong base, no hydrolysis strengths, no formula for KH, no formula for degree of hydrolysis, pH will always be 7, nature of solution will be always neutral. Second type, for the salt of strong acid plus weak base, tell me students what type of hydrolysis? If the acid is strong and base is weak, cationic hydrolysis or anionic hydrolysis? Cationic hydrolysis, very good. It will be cationic hydrolysis. So what must be the nature of solution, acidic or basic? Acidic. It will be acidic solution, very good. So hydrolysis constant KH will be equal to KW by CH. Base is weak, no? Base is weak. That means which value will be given? Ka value will be given or Kb value will be given in the question? Kb. So KH value will be equal to Kw by Kb. The formula to calculate KH is equal to Kw by Kb. Kw is ionic product of water whose value is 10 power minus 14, constant value. Kb they will give in the question. This is the formula to calculate KH. Now to calculate H. See, H is similar to alpha, students. If for any other process we will call it as alpha, for hydrolysis we will call it as H. H is nothing but alpha only. So alpha is equal to root KH by C, no? Actually for acid alpha is equal to root Ka by C. For base alpha is equal to root Kb by C. In the same way for hydrolysis, H is equal to root KH by C. KH is Kw by Kb. So H value will be Kw by Kb into C. H value will be root of Kw by Kb. Is it visible, students? It is visible clearly. Root of Kw by Kb into C. The pH expression is pH is equal to half into pKw minus pKb minus log C. Just remember the formula to calculate. pH is equal to half into pKw minus pKb minus log C. This is the formula to calculate pH. Okay. Next, third one is, if you are finding difficult to remember this formula, no, from here you will come to know the value of H. Once you know the value of H, from here you can decide the nature of solution is acidic. That means the final concentration will be H plus. H plus will be equal to C into H. So concentration of the salt will be given in the question. So take C into H value you will get from here. You can calculate H plus. Once you know H plus, you can calculate pH. If you forget the formula, just like we have done for the previous cases, no, in the same way you can. Okay. So all that comes by practice. Okay, next one is salt of weak acid plus strong base. Salt of weak acid plus strong base. anionic hydrolysis, and the nature of solution will be basic. Formula to calculate KH will be Kw by Ka, because acid is weak here. Kw by Ka. H value will be equal to root of Kw by Ka into C. And the formula to calculate pH will be half into pKw plus pKa plus log C. I don't do here, last one I'll give. Very important, students, salt hydrolysis. Very, very important it is. Write down the formulas correctly, don't make any mistake. See, KH is equal to 1 by Kn, or Kn is equal to 1 by KH. This is true for any case other than strong acid and strong base. Because strong acid and strong base is irreversible. When it is irreversible, no chance of equilibrium constant only, no? Prakriti. It is applicable for any other case. Right. Completed. Then the last case. I am writing here the last one. Last case. Fourth one. Salt of weak acid plus weak base. Salt of weak acid plus weak base. Type of hydrolysis, both. Both cationic and anionic. Hydrolysis constant KH will be equal to Kw by. Both are weak, so both you will get. Kw by Ka into Kb. Degree of hydrolysis H. H will be equal to root of Kw by Ka into Kb. You can find a difference between the other two on this one. In the other two, there is concentration. But here there won't be concentration. That means a salt formed from weak acid and weak base will be independent of concentrations. So this is one point we need to make a note. I'll give you the note. How to calculate the pH? pH is equal to half into pKw plus pKa minus pKb. Here also you can see in the pH expression, here there is log C, here there is log C, but here there won't be log C. Okay. So most of the times, no students, in the exams, question comes from this fourth part. Most of the times, many times, questions were asked from this part. So make a note. The salt formed from weak acid and weak base. Weak acid and weak base is independent of concentration. Okay, na? So if you remember, if you go through the class notes, students, many problems are there. Just using the formula, substituting the values, you can revise them once. I'll give one problem for this time, last time, okay? Because that is the one which is most commonly asked. But definitely practice the problems we solved in the class notes first. Completed? So write down one question. Write down one question. Calculate the pH of solution obtained by mixing. Calculate the pH of solution obtained by mixing 0.1 molar CH3COH or HCOH, right? HCOH, whose Ka value is 10 power minus 4, and 0.1 mole of NH4OH, whose Kb value is 10 power minus 5. Solve that and tell me the answer. $6.5. So, see here, students. From the question, how will you identify which condition? One is acid, whose Ka value is given. That means acid is weak. One is base, whose Kb value is given. That means base is also weak. So the question is between a weak acid and a weak base. So you must identify that, yes, salt hydrolysis. This is a question based on salt hydrolysis. So how to calculate the pH of a mixture of weak acid and weak base? Half into pKw plus pKa minus pKb. No need to worry about the concentrations at all, right? So half into pKw value is 14, we know, plus pKa. If Ka value is 10 power minus 4, pKa value will be 4 and pKb value will be 5. Okay, now. So what will be this value, students? 6.5. That means what will be the nature of the solution? Acidic. Nature of solution is acidic. It's simple, student. Simple. So how will you decide the nature of solution for weak acid and weak base? By seeing the value of Ka and Kb. By seeing the value of Ka and Kb. So if Ka value is more, it will be acidic. If Kb value is more, it will be basic. So here Ka value is more no compared to Kb. So Ka value is more when compared to Kb. So when Ka value is more when compared to Kb, the nature of solution will be acidic. Nature of solution will be acidic. Okay. So finally we got acidic also. So in that way we can decide the nature of solution for weak acid and weak base. Okay. Right. So this is about the concept of salt hydrolysis. Right. 1 minute. I'll fill the ink. Okay. Next concept is buffer solutions. Next one is buffer solutions. So what do you mean by a buffer solution? Buffer solution means any solution which can resist the change in pH is known as buffer solution, that you already know. So there are two types of buffer solutions. One is called as acidic buffer, other one is called as basic buffer. One is called as acidic buffer, other one is basic buffer. So what do you mean by an acidic buffer? Acidic buffer means it is a mixture of weak acid plus its salt formed from strong base. Acidic buffer means it is a mixture of weak acid plus its salt formed from strong base. Example. So weak acid is CH3COH plus salt formed from strong base means CH3COONA in this way. So this is the weak acid. This is the salt of strong base. NaOH plus acidic acid will give you this. Okay, na? So this is what is acidic buffer means. So acidic buffer is also formed by reaction between acid and base only, because CH3COOH plus NaOH will give you CH3COONA plus H2O. Correct, my students? So in acidic buffer, there is acetic acid and CH3COONA. You can observe. Acidic buffer is a mixture of a weak acid plus the salt of the weak acid formed from strong base. So that means this is a type of reaction between weak acid and strong base, right? This is a reaction between weak acid and strong base. Now the question comes, sir, weak acid plus strong base. In the previous case, it was salt hydrolysis. Now weak acid plus strong base. In this case, it is acidic buffer. Then how to identify in the exam whether it belongs to salt hydrolysis or whether it belongs to buffer solution is the question. How to identify whether it is salt hydrolysis or how to identify whether it is a buffer. Now see here, students. For buffer, what must be present in the solution? weak acid plus this both must be present. This must not be present. That means which must be the limiting reagent here? NaOH must definitely be the limiting reagent, no? NaOH must definitely be the limiting reagent. So if you get a question based on weak acid plus strong base, how will you identify whether it is salt hydrolysis or buffer is? If NaOH is a limiting reagent, then these two will be left in the solution. It becomes acidic buffer. Then when it becomes salt hydrolysis, in salt hydrolysis, only salt has to be present. These two must not be present. That means both must be limiting reagents. You are following what I am doing? For salt hydrolysis, always, for any type of salt hydrolysis, both acid and base must be the limiting reagents. That means both equivalents must be the same. Then it will be salt hydrolysis. If strong base is a limiting reagent, then weak acid and this will be left out. That will be an acidic buffer. Okay, understood? Very important this is. Understood? All right. So that is how you will identify whether the given condition is salt hydrolysis or buffer. Right? So for salt hydrolysis, both equivalents must be the same. For acidic buffer, strong base must be the limiting reagent. Okay, this is acidic buffer. Then, what is the formula to calculate pH of acidic buffer? It is given by Henderson equation. If you remember, Henderson-Hasselbalch equation we call it. Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So, what is the formula to calculate pH of acidic buffer? pH is equal to pKa plus log salt concentration by acid concentration. S represents salt. This concentration, salt concentration by acid concentration. Or this is a salt which is CH3COO minus and Na plus. That means CH3COO minus is formed from CH3COOH. If this is an acid, CH3COO minus will be the conjugate base of this acid. No, it will be the conjugate base. So that means this salt can also be written as conjugate base. Cb means conjugate base or conjugate base. This is the formula to calculate pH of an acidic buffer. pH is equal to pKa plus log salt concentration by acid concentration. If they directly give the concentrations of these two, problem becomes very easy. It is a CET type of question or NEET type of question. But in JEE directly they won't give sometimes. What they will do is they will give both acid and base. So tricky, you need to identify whether it will be salt hydrolysis or whether it will be buffer. So that is important. Right until here. Complete students. Now, what is the buffer range? Working range of a buffer. Buffer range we call it. That means in which pH range the buffer will work. So buffer range will always be pKa plus 2, pKa plus 1 to pKa minus 1. pKa plus or minus 1. Or you can write as pKa plus 1 to pKa minus 1. This will be the buffer range. If pKa value of the acid is given some value, you suppose if it is 5, so it will be 4 to 6. Only in that pH range the buffer will work. Now for a buffer to be called as efficient buffer, then pH value must be equal to pKa value. If pH value is equal to pKa value, then that buffer is said to be an efficient buffer. That means both salt concentration and acid concentration must be the same. So when this is same, then pH value will be equal to pKa. Okay. So this is about acidic buffer. In the same way, we have basic buffer. Basic buffer. Basic buffer. Basic buffer means it is a mixture of weak base plus salt formed from strong acid. Weak base plus salt formed from strong acid is a basic buffer, like NH4OH plus NH4Cl. So you can see this is a weak base, this is a salt of strong acid. That means NH4OH plus HCl will give NH4Cl plus H2. So you can say again this is an acid-base reaction. This is a base, weak base, and this is a strong acid. Now, when again weak base plus strong acid, either it can undergo salt hydrolysis or it can be buffer also. When it will be salt hydrolysis, when both are in equal quantities, it will be salt hydrolysis. When it will be buffer, tell me students, what must be the limiting reagent for this to be buffer? Yes, HCl must be the limiting reagent. So only these two must be present. These two must be present means this must be the limiting reagent. So for an acidic buffer, strong base must be the limiting reagent. For a basic buffer, strong acid must be the limiting reagent. So very basic and very interesting concept also this is, right? So where you can get very good questions based on this concept. Already we have solved in the class also many. In books also you can find so many questions. Okay. Now coming to the calculation of pH. Coming to the calculation of pH. So how will you calculate the before the pOH? We will calculate pOH. pOH is equal to pKb plus log salt concentration, or here we will get conjugate acid. Instead of salt concentration, they can also give conjugate acid concentration by base concentration. Salt concentration by base concentration. Okay, na? So working range of the buffer will be pKb plus 1 to pKb minus 1. Efficient buffer when pOH is equal to pKb. This will be efficient buffer. Completed. Okay, na? So this is basic buffer. See, NEET exam, no students, no need to worry only. Direct questions will get. They will give the concentration of salt. They will give you the concentration of base. Just substitute it in the formula. Okay. One more small definition I'll give. Then I'll give you one or two problems. You'll get an idea what type of questions you'll get. But in JEE, no students, you should be careful. Right. Next one is, there is one more terminology called as base buffer capacity. This is very important, students. You will get numericals based on this. Okay, now very simple only. Buffer capacity. So what is buffer capacity is represented as theta or phi sometimes. Phi is equal to number of moles of acid or base. Number of moles of acid or base added per liter of solution. Number of moles of acid or base added per liter of solution by change in pH. Number of moles of acid or base added per liter of solution. So this is important. Per liter of solution by change in pH is known as buffer capacity. So just take the number of moles they have given, calculate it per liter. They will be giving for 100 ml or 200 ml. Calculate per liter. Identify what is the difference in the pH range. Substitute it in the formula. You will get the buffer capacity. One simple problem I'll give students. What type of questions will be asked? Mostly direct questions only will get. Calculate pH of solution containing 0.1 mole of CH3COO and 0.05, let us say 0.05 mole of acetic acid whose Ka value is 10 power minus 5. So by seeing the question, you can directly tell it is weak acid plus salt formed from strong base. Directly use the formula and tell me the answer. So this is an acidic buffer. pH value will be equal to pKa plus log salt concentration by base concentration. Substitute in the formula. pKa. Ka value is 10 power minus 5 means pKa value will be 5 plus log. Salt is 0.1. Base acid concentration, acid concentration is 0.05. So 2 times. So 5 plus 0.3. 5 point. Okay, na? So in this way, direct formulas you will get NEET exam or CET. Right? In JEE mains also many times direct formulas were only asked, but this type of questions were also asked. Okay. So once you go through the students, so I think one problem on buffer capacity. Na? Okay, right. So one problem based on buffer capacity. Question is calculate the buffer capacity of a solution when 2 moles of HCl is added to 500 ml of solution. 500 ml of solution to change its pH by 2 units. That is the question. Tell me students, what will be your buffer capacity? So very simple. How many moles of acid you are adding? 2 moles. 2 moles, right? For 500 ml of solution. If for 500 ml of solution, if you are using 2 moles, then for 1 liter of solution, how many moles you need? 4 moles. Correct? By to change its pH by 2 units. 5 you are telling answer. Two, no? So the answer will be 2. Okay. So that's all, students. So I think time is done. So solubility product, one concept is remaining that we'll discuss in Monday's class. And so again, I'm telling students, you need to solve the problems. So I'm giving an idea of theory and what type of questions are being asked. Again, don't sit and read the theory again. Maximum whatever is required for the theory, the formulas I am giving here. I am giving one model problem. In class, we must have solved many problems or take the previous year's questions, solve them, then go for reference problems. Okay, if you have time, you can go for reference problems. Monday students. So you can tell me which chapter to revise. Many of them were asking after equilibrium to revise hydrocarbons. Shall we do hydrocarbons or any other chapter you want me to revise? You can message me, students. According to most number of students, which chapter they are asking, I'll be doing that chapter. You can message me personally, WhatsApp me personally. Okay, na? But this is one chapter which is very important, lengthy chapter we have completed. Okay, na? Thank you, students.